Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is time once again for one of my favorite things. I know I say that a lot about the videos, but you know what? Creators Corner is my baby. And that's what you've tuned into. Yet another edition of Creators Corner. And you'll notice this sexy young man, this Adonis, this unbelievable specimen of the physical form, Jeff Huffman. He is my guest today on Creators Corner. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining me.
I'm doing very well. Excited to be doing this.
Me too, man. It was kind of funny. I've been wanting to have you on for a while. I wasn't sure if you were interested because you're such a millennial and stuff. And I thought that we talked a while back that I was going to have you on. But I'm so absent-minded that it's quite possible that I completely forgot. So when you expressed interest in being on, I was really excited. So I'm really, really glad you wanted to do this.
Really, I'm not real big about talking about myself.
But you know what? I think you should a little
Not
bit
a
more.
not a hey look at I'm not a hey look at me kind of person.
No, you
But
do
I thought,
that. You do that with your outwardly appearance. You just go ahead and make yourself look studly. You got them abs. Them hey, look at these.
yeah, those are very recent that I've had those.
You got the situation going on. What the fuck? Oh, I hate myself for saying that. Ugh,
That's okay.
I feel dirty. You should never quote Jersey Shore just ever. I feel dirty
I
for
never
doing it.
watched that fucking show. I had no intention of watching that.
Unfortunately, I did. I
No fucking intention.
just because
And
it's
they,
like watching fucking apes at a zoo.
when they brought what's her nuts on WWE, I wanted to vomit.
Snooki, hey, she did a friggin' badass little flippy thing.
But she did.
Gotta give some credit.
She actually did better than I thought she would because I actually have that DVD over there.
Oh yeah.
I believe that's the same WrestleMania as Undertaker Triple H 1.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. That was a
Technically
good fight.
Undertaker Triple H 2, but
Technically, yeah.
technically.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this thing, man. Now I know that podcasting and YouTubing and all that is kind of a recent thing for you, but you've had a passion about it. In fact, you study it in school, correct?
Yeah, for my career, I'm looking to get into, something with sports journalism. I'd like to be, work for a radio station, or my ideal goal would be to hopefully land on MLB Network because baseball is my number one sport.
Yeah, I'm with
Baseball is the number one sport, and hockey is just a very, very, very close number two.
And with hockey, it's kind of cool because the passion for hockey and your ability to watch it is kind of what led to all of this, led to you being here right now. Because if I'm not mistaken, correct me where I'm wrong, but you started watching Tommy C over on Shot from the Point, correct?
Actually, I actually found Cronin
Oh,
the night of
everybody
Wrestle.
finds Cronin first. I'm so stupid.
Well, no. Like the story behind that is because obviously WrestleMania was going on
Yep.
that night, and my friend texted me. He's just like, dude, Undertaker fucking lost, and like I literally stared at my phone for probably a good 45 seconds to make sure I'm reading this right.
Oh God.
Like Undertaker lost with a question mark, and he said, yeah. So then I immediately went to YouTube, searching Undertaker loses WrestleMania 30, and I actually found Cronin talking about it, and I was instantly hooked on that. Was watching for a couple weeks, watched the monetize this every Wednesday night, and found out Tommy had a channel talking about hockey. Figured I'd go check that out, and I instantly hooked on that too.
Yeah.
And I felt like I definitely need to be a part of this.
Yeah, Tommy and I were talking.
Cool.
This has all kind of happened when him and I started talking again. And he was like, man, there's this guy, there's this kid. He's really, really smart. He's well-spoken. He's a cool dude, and he's a St. Louis guy. And I was like, oh, God, not a St. Louis guy. I'm a Chicago guy, so I'm like, yeah, death to St. Louis. But he's like, well, I'm thinking about bringing him on as like correspondent type thing. And that didn't even last long as you just as a correspondent. Because you have this ability. Sometimes you don't speak as much as maybe you should, but you have this ability to relate with people, and it's a cool thing, man. And here's your biggest gift that I've noticed: you make everyone around you better. You've come on, you've made Jeff better. You made Tommy immensely better. You make me better when you work with me. You have that ability, and it's something that not everybody possesses. Is that something that you've always kind of felt you've had, like when you play sports or when you're around other people? Do you just kind of, not to toot your own horn, but...
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I kind of noticed that, with, playing hockey. My senior year, because I didn't play varsity hockey until my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And, everybody, I assume, liked me, that got along with me, because obviously I wasn't the greatest player playing fourth line my senior year on varsity. But, every time I went out there, they were trying so hard to get me a goal. And I ended up hitting the post a couple times. And my favorite one, it was the last regular season game of the season, and we were beating this team it's like 6-2 or something. They weren't a really good team. They got 2 cheap goals.
Yeah.
So they stuck me out there with 2 of the first liners and the best defenseman we got. And they're like, okay, we're going to get you a goal. I'm like, if you have an open shot, take that motherfucking shot. Don't pass it to me.
Yeah.
And, I got a beautiful pass right in front of the net. I was ready for it. Let it rip, a nice slap shot on the ice. Because I was actually really good at shooting the puck low, finding the 5-hole. I wasn't the greatest player by any means, but that was by far, I could do that better than pretty much everybody on the team. I could find the hole on the ice.
Yeah.
And I see the puck go through the goalie's legs. I'm thinking I scored. I look over to the ref, waiting for the goal signal. Goalie moves. Puck is stopped on the motherfucking line.
Oh, no.
And I stood there for a second. I'm like, how the hell does that even happen? I see the puck go through the goalie's legs. There were no sticks there.
Oh, no.
And I got off the ice, yelled, "Oh my God," to where everybody in the crowd could hear me, and I may have headbutted the concrete wall about 5 times. That's awesome. No, but anyway, going back to the actual question you asked, because I drifted way off from that. I was on the bench a lot of the year, and I've always been a guy who tries to make everybody feel happy and feel better about themselves, make them feel comfortable. And that's what I would do. Bench warming my senior year. Just in this instance, I would if I see guys are pissed off, I go up to them, just like talk to them or something. And sometimes I'll play the card. I'm like, hey, just remember, you could be me. I'd suck.
It could be worse.
They always got a laugh out of that, and like I just said, that's what I always do. I try to make everybody feel comfortable. I'm not a dickhead to you unless you're a dickhead to me. So,
right. Yeah, you're a consummate team guy. You're a locker room guy, but that should not say that you don't have talent. My God, I think you bring so much. You've brought so much to Shot from the Point, and this show especially.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's true, man. You really do bring a lot. I love your observations. I love your stories, and I love your rage. So let's transition to that for a moment, shall we? Because something that you've kind of become known for is your other channel, GrandSlam87, because you have a lot of rage. Do you feel that you're an angry person? You rage at video games, but is that just your outlet is the video games and you display your rage through that? Or do you feel like that in your head a lot throughout the day?
Sort of. Like my outlet of that is through competition, really. Because it really comes out during competition. Because, going back to hockey, the guys I played with, they all thought I was psycho. When I would screw something up, I would yell at myself.
Well, yeah, you headbutt a friggin' concrete wall.
Yeah, I headbutt a concrete wall. Like, I'm ridiculously hard on myself, and I expect perfection out of pretty much everything I do. And I usually end up getting upset about that. And I'm even that way, watching the Cardinals, Blues, and the Rams. Yeah. I'm like that watching the games too. Somebody fucks up, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And
if it was me, I wouldn't have made that mistake.
But well, I probably still would have made the mistake. But it's easy for me to say, sitting on my couch.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Strike 3, look and swing the goddamn bat. Oh my God.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much how I am watching the games. But video games, it comes out a lot worse.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I don't know what it is, because I'm ridiculously competitive. Like I said, everything's got to go perfect, and if it doesn't, I'll get upset about it. because like I focus on the stuff that I didn't do right,
Yeah.
and I try to focus on like what I could have done to make that better.
Sure. Sure.
And like I'll say I'm playing a game of NHL or MLB and I beat some guy 10-1. I'll be pissed off about giving up that one run.
So you are a
It's just,
perfectionist. I mean, I think that's fair to
yeah,
say.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
God, that can't be easy. I mean, you got to be beating yourself up a lot sometimes. It's not
Oh
fun.
yeah. Oh yeah. I am.
Where do you think that comes from? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Like I think it might just be growing up, watching tons of sports, for as long as I can remember, and just being so into the competition. I'm like, oh my god, you gotta win, gotta win every game.
Do you come from a real
And
competitive family?
yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
My I'm a lot like my mom.
Yeah.
I'm a lot like my mom. My dad, not so much, but yeah, my mom was also really hard on herself. She was a perfectionist too.
Yeah. I know that a while back you lost your mother, and I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
Um,
a little over a year ago,
yeah.
about a year and a half ago, coming up on a year and a half ago.
Wow. I know that couldn't have been easy. Which do you feel that going through a loss like that has recording and podcasting and even doing a channel about something as stupid and innocuous as video games? Do you feel that's been an outlet for you to kind of help heal?
Well, yeah, sort of, because before that, my channel was like strictly Call of Duty and stuff like that. Because like the guys I play with, we all get upset at the game, and I would just watch a bunch of gaming channels really just to hear people's input on the games and stuff. And I also loved watching people get really upset at the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about it one day. I'm like, we're funnier than a lot of these guys that are on YouTube right now.
Sure.
The guys I play with, we are a lot funnier. And have you seen the videos of me and my friends getting pissed off at the game? Have you seen those?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And what'd you think of those?
Insanity, like everything. I love it. I you guys are
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
It reminds me
But
of a lot of myself. So.
okay. Yeah. But up until that point, I would just kind of upload that stuff, just like funny stuff of the games I play mostly. Sometimes talk about the stuff that's on my mind, and I also went out a little bit more than actually compared to now, a lot more than I do now. And then after my mom died, I really don't go out much at all. Like it's a rare occasion because I go to work, go to school, and through it the last year and a half, I've been hitting the gym like 6 days a week.
Is there is there
Yeah.
is there a correlation between that, between suffering a loss like that and kind of upping your own perfection in a way of upping your own life quality? Do you think there's a
Yeah, because
correlation?
after my mom died, because like I'd still work out at home, like do some stuff at home, but
Sure.
I wasn't really like psycho about it like I am now.
Yeah.
And then after my mom died, I'm like, no, it's not happening to me.
Mm.
It's not happening to me. And my uncle put me on his gym membership, and I started going about 4 days a week, and just like through the last 6 or 7 months or so, my neighbor, who actually got himself in better shape after my mom died, because that was a big wake up call for him.
Yeah.
He started using this company that I use now, which I love the stuff. But
Go ahead and plug them.
what? Well, I don't know if I should really say the company name,
Oh, okay.
but it's not a sketchy company or anything. I mean, because I thought it was going to be a sketchy company going into it, but but I'm like, okay, it got him in better shape. He lost 40 pounds in the first year,
Oh, wow.
and dude looks absolutely phenomenal compared to what he was.
Sure.
And just I thought, okay, you know what? This is probably some pyramid scheme bullshit. I'll go. Hey, it can't hurt. I got nothing else to do anyway. And I was really surprised that it actually wasn't, because this company gives a lot of money back to the people that use the stuff.
Huh.
And the stuff has worked absolute wonders for me, because like when I started using that 6 7 months ago, I've been going to the gym 6 days a week,
Yeah.
6 days a week,
Good
and the
God.
transformation is ridiculous.
How has that helped you just with coping with everything that you've had to deal with? I mean, just like seeing your own transformation and reaching a new level of fitness. Does that help you on a daily basis? Just get through some
Yeah, like
harder
it
times?
makes me feel. yeah, it makes me feel a lot better about myself because after my mom died, because I'm not a crier. I'm not a crier either.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the only time I shed a tear was maybe 2 minutes after I went to talk to my boss at work, letting them know I wouldn't be in the next couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it. Because I didn't cry the night we found out she died. She died of a heart attack, by the way.
Mm.
And
I'm
there's
really
a whole
sorry to hear
story
that,
behind.
man.
No, there's a whole story behind that too of like what led up to that. But
Yeah.
yeah, just ever since I started going to the gym, after she passed away, I felt that I took the greater responsibility because I still got my dad and brother.
Sure.
I knew I was gonna have to take a bigger responsibility for myself, and I knew crying and sobbing and just sitting in a corner, not doing anything, wasn't gonna help anything. And some weird way, I instantly felt better about myself.
Wow. That's pretty
I
damn
don't know what
inspiring, man. You took
I don't know
pain.
what I don't know what it was.
Well, sometimes that's what you do in life. You take pain, you turn it into motivation, and that's what you did. That's pretty amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because yeah, I actually I react good to emergency situations. Like I don't freak out.
yeah.
And that kind of came into play when my dad had his heart attack just like 2 months ago.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He had. Why did you? Was that? Did that happen around you?
What? Oh, my dad's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was. Dad got in the shower. He wasn't. He came out and he said, he wasn't feeling good, just like all of a sudden. And he said his chest hurts,
Oh God.
and then he said he was sweating real bad, and I felt him, and it was a very cold sweat, and I'm like, that was pretty much my instant tip off. And and I told my little brother who's 13 that this was actually on my brother's birthday.
Oh God.
Yeah, and my mom died 4 days before my birthday.
Oh Jesus, man.
Yeah, so that kind of sucked, but
Yeah, a little bit. A
a
little
little
bit.
bit. But so I sent my brother into his room. I'm like, okay, Jack, go in your room for a second,
Right.
because he's the exact opposite of me. Like he freaks out.
Oh God.
He freaks out. He's a I don't know if emotional is the right word, but I can't think of any other word for it.
I'm sure Tommy C would have a proper word for it.
Yeah.
But I'm
I'm
not
saying
gonna
that.
go there.
I'm not saying that, but I really only show one emotion anyway, and that's anger.
Sure. Sure.
But when I let it out, it's anger. But most of the time, I'm actually really calm.
So you
But when I
sent,
get pissed
so you
off,
sent your brother into his room, and then how did you react from there?
yeah. So I asked my dad, okay, I'm like, you're really cold, and does your chest hurt? And he's like, shook his head, yes.
Oh God.
So I dipped into my room for a second. I pretty much knew what this was. I hopped on Google and just like
Google.
double-checked,
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to assure myself because none of us like to go to the doctor.
Oh God. Yeah.
Like we absolutely hate it.
Sure.
Like unless I get shot in the face, I'm not going to the doctor.
Well, you do live close to Ferguson, so that's a possibility.
That is a possibility. That is a possibility. So I came back in. I'm like, Dad, you're having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And he tried to play it off for a few minutes. I'm like, I'm calling an ambulance. And then they got here. They took him to the hospital, and find out his right coronary artery was 90% blocked.
Gee, you saved your father's life, man.
Yeah, and
There's nothing, no else to say it. You saved your father's
Yeah.
life, man.
yeah,
Wow.
and
That's friggin' heroic, brother. That
yeah,
is
and he
quick
was.
thinking.
I picked up a phone. I mean, they did all the work. I didn't do anything.
You did. You
Paramedics,
reacted.
doctors did all the work. I called the phone. I didn't do much.
That's more than look. If you weren't there, there's a 95% chance that your father wouldn't even know what was going on. I mean, he was trying
that,
to.
that was probably the way with how my mom was too.
Exactly. And
I guess I could go into that too.
if you want, I wasn't going to
No,
push you
no,
on
no.
it. But if you want to
I'm
talk about
not gonna. I don't. Like I said, I don't break down.
If you want to talk
No,
about
I'm
it, yeah,
fine.
please. This is your.
Yeah, no,
forum.
go ahead. I
Go-
mean,
yeah.
I had the same thing. So yeah, my mom. This was let's see, but yeah, a year and a half ago,
Mhm.
but around 2 years ago, because she hated her job, hated the job.
Where'd she work?
She worked at a bank. I don't want to say the name of the
No,
bank.
that's fine. That's fine.
In case for some odd reason, someone would watch it. But she hated her job, and just the whole bank, the way they run things is completely fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely fucked up. Bunch of bullshit. She was fed up. She was just fed up with it, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And she worked there, since the bank started, and the bank, which it started in 02, 03.
So she'd been there a while. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was there since it started, and it changed names 4 times because everything was so fucked up.
Good God.
It changed names 4 times. Everything was so fucked up, and she was always the second in command at this bank,
Mm-hmm.
and she would just always get hit with the shit schedules. People probably faking sick and stuff, and like on top of that, with the stupid people and just the way things are run, just it's a giant clusterfuck. Fed up with it, so
Sure.
she started submitting resumes around I want to say March this time, around March 2 years ago. And she was having some trouble with it, and I knew she was really upset. And she was I was helping her submit resumes and stuff. And she was also diabetic too.
Oh God.
And was it type 2? It might have been type
the
2.
less serious one.
Uh,
Because type 1's, I believe, the one where you have to have the little insulin pump and all that stuff.
she had to give herself shots every day.
Okay.
So would that be type 1 or 2?
I think that's type 1.
Okay. Well, she was diabetic either way. I mean, and every once in a while, years past, or her blood sugar would randomly drop
Mm-hmm.
because people always think you can control the blood sugar, and people don't realize that sometimes it'll just tank
Sure.
out of nowhere, and that would happen from time to time, and but then like recently, like 2 years ago, it started happening more often.
Oh God.
And didn't think anything of it. And it actually happened one time, and a couple times we have had to call the paramedics because I couldn't get it back up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and my dad would like start freaking out, trying to like pour milk down her throat. I'm like, "Dad, you can't do that.
No, it's
You can't do that. You basically have to trick her into taking it.
Oh God.
Basically is what it was.
So she was
And
kind
then,
of she was kind of stubborn, huh?
Oh my God. When her blood sugar dropped, oh my God.
Yeah.
But when we couldn't get it back up, we called the paramedics, and they get it back up, and everything's fine. And this actually happened once in Chicago. We actually she was close with the equipment manager of the St. Louis Cardinals,
Oh wow.
and he got us some tickets to Cardinals and Cubs at Wrigley,
Oh, cool.
which was an absolute awesome experience,
Yes,
just
I'm sure.
absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And we also went to the Taste of Chicago one of the days.
Oh wow.
And she was doing
yeah, that's a cool event.
she was doing a lot of walking around, and when her blood sugar dropped late that night, couldn't get it back up, so I tried to go downstairs in the hotel, and yeah, my mom's blood sugar's dropping. Could I get some just like some turkey or something, and say the place is closed, or maybe I didn't say her blood sugar was dropping. I asked if the kitchen was open. And they said, no, it wasn't open. So, like, I'm not even thinking. I'm trying to get this stuff done as fast as possible.
Sure.
So, and this is at like 3 a.m. in downtown Chicago. I go out of the hotel. I sprint 3 fucking blocks to Walgreens, pick up a diet soda, or not a diet soda, regular soda, run 3 blocks back, middle of the night in Chicago,
Oh man.
get the soda, and we called the paramedics, and they started to come. And the people down front asked me, it's like, oh, what's happening? Why'd you call the paramedics? And I'm like, oh, my mom's blood sugar dropped. I was just seeing if I could get her something to eat or something. But you guys said the kitchen was closed. I'm like, oh, we could have made something happen. I'm like, fuck.
Right. Well, you gotta sprint out of it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, everything was fine after that. And this was, I want to say this was in July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were in Chicago in July. So we came home. I think it happened one more time in August where blood sugar just tanked, but I didn't have to call the paramedics that time. We got it back up. No problem. And, throughout this time, she's still submitting resumes and stuff, and still just hating her job. She's saying her feet are swelling up,
Oh man.
and a couple other little things, and
So
like didn't
stress
think
is just
anything.
building at this point.
Yeah, didn't think anything of it. And then, this was, and then go to September 9th. My mom And I just started college too, like less than a month ago. So she would call me every day after my classes, ask me how I was, and I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine." So I talked to her earlier that day. She took my brother to baseball practice, and she was doing some more work in the car while my brother was having practice, and I guess she just didn't think anything of it. Maybe she thought she was having heartburn or something. I don't know what it was, but she just like dropped. Apparently, she just like dropped all her stuff, and I had the heart attack right there in the car. And my little brother is actually the one who found her
Oh God.
in the car. So he tried waking her up. Nothing was happening. Called his coach over. Did CPR. They called the paramedics, and they took her to the hospital. And they called us. Like we thought her blood sugar dropped, but then I overheard. She had no pulse,
Oh God.
and she's been like unattended, like where blood sugars dropped. And if you're left, as you might know,
Yeah.
if someone's blood sugar drops, they could lose their pulse
Sure.
if left unattended for way too long. But I'm like, his brother's practice isn't that long. I'm like, her blood sugar didn't drop. And we get to the hospital and we find out she had a massive heart attack and died.
God, man.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of a moment of revelation. I mean, you took it as
Yeah.
a way to use that pain to basically change your life in a lot of ways. I'm thank you for sharing that. I'm really sorry
no
to hear
problem.
that, brother.
No problem. No problem.
Going from there, do you feel experiencing something like that, and even with the little bit of a scare of your father as well, do you think that's helped you take more chances and push yourself to go into these podcasts and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it gave me a lot more confidence in myself because I knew, like after my mom died, I would have a greater responsibility. And I was seeing like right off the bat, like I was doing really well with myself. I felt great. I was really the only one that was like, okay, like I was up and moving, ready to go, like the very next day.
Yeah,
It took my dad a couple weeks
I'm sure.
to get over it. It took my brother damn near a year,
Wow.
to actually start getting better because he started to do his schoolwork started to go down, and he's bringing that back up, which is good to see.
It's
But
amazing how people really do heal at different rates. I mean, three men in the house, and all healed at completely different rates. It's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. But I bet having you there and you being the example for even your father and your brother had to have helped. Had to have helped, and I commend you for that, man. I mean, not everybody can do that.
thank you,
So that's
thank you.
pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. So you started working. You called in with the Joe Cronin Show. You became a fan of that, and then you started calling on Tommy's show. What do you feel you've brought to Shot from the Point that maybe it didn't have before?
Well, like you said, Tommy said, told me the show has gotten better since I've been on.
Absolutely.
It takes pressure off. He said it's taking pressure off him and Jake.
Yeah.
Which that's good to hear. Yeah, that boosts my confidence a lot. Because you got Tommy doing his thing, Jake being the funny guy, and I just bringing the news. Just it takes a lot of the pressure off them, and they can focus on one thing they got to do.
It's easier when we all have roles, and we have clearly defined things that we're supposed to do, and makes conversations go easier, and it does help. You bring that stability. I mean, you really do. It's pretty cool. Do you feel that the things that you're doing is helping you, maybe not as a resume builder per se? I don't know if you're ever going to put Shot from the Point and Dead on Dave Productions on a resume for any applications.
Yeah.
However,
Well,
do you feel at least as an inside effect, do you think it's helping you build for the future?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought this would be, because I knew what I want my career to be, and I thought, this would be a great opportunity, a great place to start.
Yeah.
Just screwing around doing something like this.
Where do you see the next 5 years taking you? How do you see things progressing? Do you think you're gonna build a new channel to where you do more analytical stuff, and kind of as practice for your hopeful future?
Honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to do in the next 6 months. I don't even know what I'm going to do in the next 6
It's
months.
an
Well, I
honest
know what
answer.
I would know what I want to do school wise. Don't have the slightest fucking idea where I want to go. Don't have the slightest fucking idea. Like I said, I want to do journalism stuff, and Mizzou arguably has the best journalism program out there.
Yeah,
But the money comes into play.
sure,
Money comes into play.
sure. Kickstarter,
So
Kickstarter, send Jeff to college.
right,
So you're in community college now,
yeah,
and you also have a job,
yes.
and you do all these podcasts and videos, and you work out every single friggin' day.
Pretty much.
Where are you finding the energy for all this, man? What's keeping you going?
I don't know. Just like getting up every day, knowing the stuff I got to do, the stuff I want to accomplish, and that just gets me to keep going.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. In an ideal world, where are you in 10 years? In an ideal world, I'm not asking you to plan it out because we've already done that. Where do you want to be? What's your ultimate goal?
Ultimate goal, just to have a career that I just enjoy.
Yeah,
Like really.
that's pretty cool. Pretty simple. Pretty simple.
Just I'd rather have a career that I enjoy, just steady paycheck where I can support myself and anyone else that comes along.
But the goal is to be a broadcaster. I mean, that's what you're going to keep pushing
Yes.
to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll be on the radio or TV for the Cardinals, just screaming it, just screaming. I will be the most biased commentator.
You're going to be a homer.
I will not be.
Homer.
I will not. I could not be a national broadcaster,
No, it's just not going to work.
especially with the Cardinals in the playoffs all the time. I couldn't do it.
Let me ask you a question related to sports real quick. We'll kind of go off subject for a moment. Oscar Tavares over the offseason, he died in a car accident. Found out that he was drinking and everything. How do you feel? And you spoke out about this. Kind of bashing the people that bashed him in a lot of ways.
Right. And I just want to come out and say, like, I was bashing those people for I was bashing the people who were bashing him,
Yeah.
and I just want to say, like, we're not supporting the drunk driving.
Yeah,
You're not supporting the drunk driving whatsoever. It was fucking stupid.
sure.
We all know that.
Absolutely.
But go ahead, continue what you were saying. I was gonna.
How do you feel about the Cardinals wearing his patch on their uniform this year?
Like I just said, and the Cardinals came out and said this. We're not supporting the drunk driving. Like, we're not celebrating the drunk driving. We're celebrating his life.
I understand
and
that.
And what he would have been. Because, like, this guy, for me, he was the next Albert Pujols for me, and a lot of other people.
There's a possibility. He was a good ball player, but the reality is, I have a little bit of an issue with it, and I wanted to bring this up and talk to you about it just for a moment, because
Go for it.
you can't talk about this guy without talking about his end. And when you talk, I mean, you just can't. It's impossible.
No, and the same thing back in 07 with Josh Hancock.
Yeah.
He was he may have been more drunk than Tavares, but that doesn't matter. He also had drugs in the car too.
Yeah.
And he smashed right into a flatbed truck. They still wore the patch and honored him throughout the year. They still did that with him.
See, not all teams do this. If I don't know if I would be willing to do that. I mean, honestly, I have a problem.
No, I mean that's a fair point. I mean, I completely understand that too. I understand both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not trying to bash on the kid or anything like that, but
No.
He's a cautionary tale. He's not. He shouldn't be. I don't know. This is so weird because I don't want to say he shouldn't be remembered because obviously his story should, but at the same time, I feel patches and initials and all that stuff and numbers on jerseys, they're saved for very, very, very high profile situations. When Harry Carey died, and he was a friggin' drunk. Everybody knows that.
Oh yeah.
When Harry Carey died, I got that. I get why there's still a picture of Harry Carey in the booth at Wrigley Field. You know, I can understand that. When Walter Payton died, I got that. You know, when these legends die, and when these sports heroes, even though I hate that term, dies, I get that. But for a guy like this, I don't know if it's the proper thing to do.
Well, like I said, they did it back in '07 with Josh Hancock. He was a middle relief pitcher.
Yeah.
He was a middle relief pitcher. I mean, he was okay. I mean, but he was still a member of the team, and then they honored him throughout the year. They treated him like a superstar throughout that year. Mm. And same thing with Darryl Kyle back in 2002.
Darryl Kyle, wow, yeah.
Darryl Kyle was a long
time since I've heard that name.
Yeah, Darryl Kyle was a very good pitcher.
Yes, he was.
And he just died suddenly in Chicago.
Yes, he did.
And it was a week after Jack Buck died.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and we celebrated those two, throughout the year. We still talk about Jack Buck.
Oh yeah, God.
Legend. Still talk about Jack Buck.
Legend.
Yeah. So I mean, it didn't surprise me at all that they were doing the same thing with Tavares.
His son sucks, by the way. I hate Joe Buck. Hate Joe Buck.
See, people either like Joe Buck or they absolutely hate him. I like Joe Buck.
I don't like Joe Buck, and I can't stand Troy Aikman.
Okay, Troy Aikman. I can give you that one.
Cannot. So, well, you hate anything Dallas Cowboy related.
Yeah, pretty much. If the Super Bowl was Dallas, New England, I might have to kill myself.
Sure. So going back to the video games for a second, how'd you get started playing video games? What is this? Have you been a lifelong video game guy, or is it something that you just kind of picked up?
I picked it up at a very young age because before my brother came around, my dad had some extra time, and he was real big into NASCAR. Mm. He was real big into NASCAR, played the video games and stuff, and he'd spend a couple hours just setting up his car to make sure it ran perfectly. And I'm like, I want to try this, and I was getting super pissed off because I couldn't keep the damn car on the road.
Sure.
And then I finally figured it out, able to keep the car on the road. Got pissed off at something, and I'm like, one night I'm like, if I don't win this race, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. And he was also real big into Sega back in the day too, playing Sonic and World Series baseball.
Yeah,
I fucking love Sonic, by the way. But anyway, I'm like, if I don't win this race, I'm done playing this game. And and also the little game mode that he did, it would just put you with a random driver in a random starting position. It started me in fucking last.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
And I actually came back and I actually won the race.
Oh, there you go.
I took the lead on the last. took the lead on the last lap. I was so excited. I was like 8 years old. I was so fucking excited. And then the upcoming Christmas, got a PlayStation 2, and my very first two video games were Crash Bandicoot 3.
Oh God.
Crash Bandicoot is a phenomenal game. Crash Bandicoot 3 and 007 Agent Under Fire.
I hated that game. Oh,
see,
God.
that one game, it got me hooked on James Bond.
Did it?
You gotta
go back and play GoldenEye, buddy. Go play GoldenEye.
Oh my God, that game is phenomenal.
Isn't it?
I love that game. I love that game. But yeah, that got me hooked on James Bond, and I'm a huge James Bond fan.
It's pretty cool. What's your favorite thing to do right now throughout the day? I mean, everybody, you can lie and say, "Oh, I love the working out." I think you like the effects of working out more than you actually like the working out, because nobody likes to run with a friggin' mask on their face, right?
I actually kind of do like it.
Oh God, I do. But hate people like you.
I see. I like the working out until the end, of course, when I'm pretty much dead.
Sure.
But obviously I love the effects of it. Mm-hmm.
What do you get out of, I think the better question is, what do you get out of making videos? I mean, we all do this for different reasons. I mean, a lot of us, it's selfish in a lot of ways. We need attention. What is it for you that makes you do it? What do you get out of it?
Just the satisfaction of knowing that like I said, I love accomplishing things, knowing that I completed something. Mm-hmm. And, just being with you guys, seeing the small growth in my channel. It's awesome to see. Thank you guys, by the way. Appreciate that. you just uploading the videos. I get a sense of accomplishment knowing that like I did this. I did this, and if people like it, even better. Knowing that I'm making stuff that people enjoy.
Sure.
And if I get the occasional hater every now and again, I have fun with that too because I love responding to hate, and I do it in a very smart ass kind of way.
Yeah, you do. Kind of sardonic at times. I agree.
Yeah.
What's the next goal that you want to accomplish? Because I feel Jeff Huffman climbs mountains every single day. What's the next goal that's in front of you? What's the next milestone that you want to reach?
Next milestone I want to reach. Oh, jeez. That's a very good question.
Probably the first good question I've asked this whole interview.
No. This is you got me on this one. You
Gotcha,
got me
bitch.
on this one. Yeah, because I wake up every day and I have a different goal every day, knowing that I want to get something done. I don't look too far into the future. I focus on the now.
That's a good answer. That's the Jeff Huffman answer. I like that. Well, look, man, I really appreciate the time, man. Is there anything else you want to get into? Anything else you want to plug? Anything you want to do before we get out of here?
I don't think so.
Awesome.
I don't think so.
Hey, thanks for sharing. Thanks for opening up. Make sure you guys check out Jeff on Shot from the Point Live every single Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You check him out here right on Dead on Dave Productions all the time. We do the Raw SmackDown reviews together. Sometimes he does the Raw with me. Sometimes he just comes and bullshit with sports with me. He's my good buddy, my tag team partner, and this channel would not be the same without him. So make sure you support him there. Also, follow him on Twitter at GrandSlam87. Play with him on PlayStation 4 at GrandSlam87. His YouTube channel is GrandSlam87. Watch him scream at video games, Inanimate Object, and other players. Yes. It's fantastic. Jeff, you've been phenomenal. Thank you so much for joining me, man.
Thank you for having me.
No
Had a great time doing this.
No problem, my friend. Make sure you guys check out everything. Like, subscribe, and share as always. We will see you right here next week on Creators Corner. We are out.